Hello, welcome. My name is William Sabule, and this is Thav Exclusive. Today, I have a very interesting guest with me. He's a financial analyst, and we are going to be talking about SMEs and startups. You stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state of the art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Thav Media give life to your dreams. Thav Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back from that break. All right, I've been joined by Mr. Arinze Onwusika. He's a financial analyst with vast experience in financial institutions. Plus, he's also an expert in credit and SMEs. You're welcome, Mr. Arinze.
Thank you, Mr. William.
Yeah, thank you so much for making it here.
Thank
All
you.
right, let's start our conversations with me asking you to tell us what an SME and a startup means. A lot of Nigerians don't know what that is. They use the term, but they don't understand what it means in depth. So can you tell us what that?
Okay, the first thing is this. We have this notion that people call SMEs without knowing the full background of what an SME is.
Yeah.
SME simply means small, medium enterprises. Yes, and in those small, medium enterprises, it has a bucket of the startups are there, the people, the growing businesses are there, the matured businesses, but depending on the size of your business, is equally there. Okay, for this analysis, we're going to make it as easy as possible, and we're going to use a normal layman term so that everybody can understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is a startup? For a young graduate in Nigeria that wants to be an entrepreneur and has a flair in a field, startup is being able to start that which he or she wants to do. That's a startup. So once a business starts, it falls under the bucket of SMEs. So it's a very simple analysis. You can always say that startups form part of an SME.
My second question is this. A lot of young Nigerians or young graduates, as it were, want to start a business or two, but they are mostly held back by the fear of the challenges that are involved in most startups. I want to ask you, what are the challenges bedeviling startups in Nigeria?
Challenges with startups in Nigeria. The first thing is that looking at our economy today, the instability of the economy, we all know that there are so many challenges with startups.
Yeah.
But the first thing is this, as a young entrepreneur, the first thing you need to think of is, what are those things that are in the confines of yourself that you can change? You start with those ones. Those ones will actually propel you to being able to stand the challenges, because the challenges will surely come. And the first thing is knowledge.
Yeah.
You need to be knowledgeable about the field you want to venture into. You need to have an in-depth knowledge of it. You want to produce soap. You want to do an organic material. You want to go into recycling. You need to know much about the field. Okay, let me give you an example. Something very, very that we all know about. You want to go into organic products, cosmetics, and soap. You need to know who are your target markets. Because the first thing is this: you cannot be producing this and be selling to the wrong audience. That's the easiest way for your business to die. Your audience is very important in the business. And the next thing, you need to always think of something. What are the challenges that I'm going to encounter? You have to list those ones that you know that will surely come up. You're not listing them so that you run away from the business. You're listing it so that you can have the mindset to get prepared for it to come. Because those challenges will surely come. And that thing that is with startups in Nigeria is resilience. We easily run away. When the challenges come, we run away. We don't tend to stay strong and stay in the business. We must make sure that as it's coming, will stay strong and will pull through. Because it always moves like a wave. There's a time it will be easy, there's a time it will be tough. So that's one thing that we should all know about entrepreneurs in Nigeria.
All right, thank you for that explanation. All right, but
Thank you.
from what you said, for a local woman that just came out of a village that wants to start up a business, maybe a cassava supply business here in town, and would not have or may not think it out to go and do a research on how the business is going to run. What do you think will be the fate of such people? Because there are many of them like that out there.
Okay, the first thing is this. When I talk about training, it must not be for only the elites.
Yeah.
It must not be training in classroom training. Training can come in different ways. You have informal, you have formal training. That's where it takes us to the apprenticeship program. Apprenticeship, what my people in the Southeast will always do.
Oh, yeah.
Learning trade. You must learn it. That's why you see that apprenticeship program has been the success of the Southeastern businesses. Because you must, if you don't learn it and just dive into it. Okay, let's look at for the woman that comes from the village that wants to start cassava supply.
Yeah.
Something must have propelled her to think of coming to town to do that.
Yeah.
It's either she has seen somebody that is into that, or she feels that will yield.
Yeah.
And if she had felt that will yield, if she comes in, the first thing is, who are those people in that field?
True.
What do they do? Can I work with them for some time? That's part of the training. So you must learn that particular business. It's very important.
All right. So how has government policies, because whether we like it or not, in Nigeria, government keep changing policies, and this has in either positively or negatively affected a lot of businesses. How has this how has this caused a pushback in the drive to encourage young people to start up a business?
Okay, thank you for that question, William. I must tell you the truth. It's not that government is not doing anything at all, but maybe government is not doing enough. And that's where the knowledge comes in. We have a lot of programs that government is doing. You have a lot of farmers' money. You have traders' money. You have the one government did last COVID-19 Survival Fund. You have the ones they do through Bank of Industry. You have the ones they do through Development Bank of Nigeria. These are all different programs that government is doing in trying to support the SMEs. But one, you're looking at our population as a country. Two, you're looking at interests. These are the things that has actually made it that it doesn't move around for everybody to have access to it. So that will continue to affect young SMEs and SMEs in Nigeria. So the first thing you will do is, if you're not taking part of these programs, that shouldn't stop you as an SME. I always tell somebody, you must get, one, mentorship. Who are you talking to? You cannot do your business in isolation. You must get, it's either you're getting a mentor in that field, or you're getting a mentor in a vast field, but somebody that you must be able to talk to when you have challenge. Two, once you're a growing business and you're a young graduate, I want to talk to the young graduates. A young graduate that started an entrepreneurship business, you've gone into maybe you want to start making frames. The first thing is this: you must create that love and passion for that business. It's very important. Yeah. If you don't have passion for it, create it. If you cannot create a passion for it, leave the business. It's not for you. Now, if you have created the passion for that business and you're very okay, now this is what I want to do, that will pull you through in the time of the challenge.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because it's not going to be rosy all through. It's not going to be smooth all through. So for a young graduate, you need to register your business. It's very important. You need to register your business. You need to have a bank. You need to channel your proceeds through your business account. You need to understand the fact that your business is an entity on its own and you are working for that business. You need to create a salary for yourself so it will help you understand when the business is growing and when it's on the decline. these are very important indices. We have lots more. If we start today, we can talk to you tomorrow on this issue. You understand?
Okay, I'm going to ask you. So for whether we like it or not, these SMEs and startups are mostly associated with young people. So the questions will always come from the angle of young people in Nigeria. Even let me narrow it down to Rivers State, where recently the Rivers State government came up with a policy for delivery services around Port Harcourt. That's the Okada delivery.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that
took out a lot of the young ones.
A lot of businesses. Those are the kind of challenges that most Nigerian businesses face, and they just fall out of business. And these sort of challenges come every now and then. So what would you say to encourage, these people that are in such situation?
For people in such situation, is actually a situation where I cannot easily tell you here that this is what we're going to do to encourage them. Because the thing is that that's a very strong government policy that can kill an SME. Now, because the person is a startup and you already know that challenges of such will come, what they would have done is, at this point, what they can do is, if they cannot do the registration on their own, then they need to go and strike a business agreement, a business relationship with the bigger bodies, the UPS, the feeders, the big ones. Strike an agreement with them and structure out stunting so that they too can have their own way to grow. When they have grown into that level, they can now start. Another thing that startups talk about in Nigeria is the fund to start. There are so many businesses you can start in Nigeria without money.
I was going to ask you about how these young businesses are going to get some kind of money assistance, but that will be right after this short break. My viewers, I'll be right back after this break with our conversations.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
Welcome back from that break. I'm still with Mr. Arinze here with me, and we've been having an interesting time. All right, Mr. Arinze, let me now ask you. So how does young businesses access loans in Nigeria? Because we understand that there are loan services everywhere, but you speak to any young startup and then there you go with a complaint of no money, no money, no money.
Okay, for me, I will actually advise young entrepreneurs that the first step is getting your business registered. The second step is starting your business. There is no bank in Nigeria that will want to fund a startup. Because just like what happens to the dispatch, now have you ever imagined if the bank had given depositors funds to that business?
Yeah.
What happens to the money?
Business is grounded.
Business is grounded and the money is gone. And the bank guaranteed these funds, they will want to get their money back. And when the bank is going after the owner, what happens? A lot of things starts coming in. Pity comes in. The next thing, the owner may have heart attack and die.
And they lose money.
And they lose their money and lose life. So the first thing is startups should be able to start with their own money. When they start their business, they look at the trajectory, they look at how the business is developing, they look at what is coming in. They need to get people they talk to. I mentioned it before. You register your business, you have an account with that business name. You separate the business from yourself. These are key things. Then you get a mentor that you talk to. When you have started it over time, you now get to the bank. Your bank will always want to support you if you started. And what are they supporting you with? Okay, I'm producing to the extent of I'm into soap production, soap manufacturing. We do 500 cartons every week, and we're able to sell out. But we know that if we can do 2,000 cartons, this is going to be our markup, and this will be our profit line. At that point, the bank can easily come in, because you're no longer a greenhorn. You understand? You now have an in-depth knowledge. You have tried it out. You've seen the challenges in the field. So for startups, the first thing is you must start. If you don't have the money to start, then you start with those businesses that don't need your money to start. There are a lot of businesses you can do without money. Yes. In fact, you know that a lot of entrepreneurs in Nigeria, they've done businesses that they do without their money, and they've gotten so comfortable that they don't even want to put their money in business, even when they're very rich. If you go to, this is 21st century, you have to look at some books, the business of 21st century. Today on Instagram, a lot of people that are car vendors, it's not their car. Yes, they go to a car stand and they draw out an agreement with the owner of the place. They take pictures of some good cars there. They push it onto their platform, give a markup. A lot of people that are into real estate, you see some ladies on Instagram, they'll tell you the real estate mogul, the brokers. Some of them has become so rich that they don't even want to go into business with their own money today. So for young graduates, it gets me angry, it gets me mad when somebody is telling me, I don't have money for my business. The first thing is this: what are those things that I can do without money? You draw out a list of them and you start, okay, having had this list of the things I can do without money, which are the ones that I need to venture into? That I know that I have a knowledge of that environment, of that field. How do I go there? How do I work on it? How do I develop it? So those are the things. We have series and ranges of those things that you can do. So that's just the first thing. Now, when you have done that and you have raised some funds, naturally you will make some money from that. When you're making the money and you know you want to start your own business, you'll not be in a hurry to spend the money. When you're making the money, you'll not be in a hurry to buy a car. You'll not be in a hurry to get married. As at that point that you're making the money, the next thing is, I need to start my own. You invest that money into your own business and start. So now we have solved one problem. What did we solve?
The issue of borrowing.
Fund to start up. Now, do you know that a lot of entrepreneurs that say, I need money, they don't really need money. What they need is direction. When you get closer to them, ask them, so why do you really need this money? They can't explain. They've started. Now, you can't start something and you're not putting so much time in it. You open a shop and by 9 a.m. you're still at home. You expect the business to be running. Your employee will not be as good as you are because you're the owner of the business. You're the face of the business. They must always take the footstep of their leader. If you come to your shop 7 a.m., be rest assured your staff, your sales rep, the people you're working with will be there by 7. So they will always go the way you work. So the next thing is commitment. Some of them are not committed to what they do. They don't put enough time to it. They don't build it. They don't take it as if it's their life. You need to get to that level where you take your business as this is my life. If you hit that level, then you know that there is no going back.
All right, let me ask you, are there institutions aside banks that loan monies to young startups?
Okay, thank you, William.
Yeah.
Okay, are there institutions outside banks?
Yes, aside banks. I know you made mention of banks, and that they are ready to loan young businesses
like I
money.
said, federal government through intervention funds.
Okay.
You have NISRAL, but most of these funds still go through a commercial bank because the commercial bank is our interface with CBN, who keeps most of these federal funds. So you have NISRA Bank. NISRA is CBN Microfinance Bank. You can approach them with your proposal. However, they will equally require you get a bank account number, even when they're dealing directly with you. You have Bank of Agriculture. We have one of the branches in Port Harcourt here. You have Bank of Industry. You can approach all these banks with your proposal, with your own bank account number with a commercial bank too. Now, like I said earlier, I said that one of the things that you must do as a startup is you must register your business. You register the business, you have a business account. You get an account officer that you'll be talking to in the bank, which is your relationship manager, who you can always call and ask questions. Then you approach your bank for a loan. The ones I know are these ones. I will never advise any startup to go to money lenders. Yes, because one, they're not regulated, they're illegal. So the truth is that going there, you can get anything you want. And you cannot, as a startup, go and pick a fund that will be coming with a flat interest rate. At least the commercial banks will give you an interest rate that runs per annum, which is far much better. But going to pick a 6% flat, which business will you do to give you that return? At the end of the day, you must default and you run into trouble. So that's just it with startups.
And that also leads to, the failing of some of the startup businesses.
Okay.
Like when they loan this money and start running away from because they cannot pay back.
Why businesses fail when they take loan? It's simple. One of the major reasons is diversion. Yes. If you're selling cable and you borrow extra 5 million and put in the business of sales of cable, you must be able to pay back that money. If you're selling foodstuff and you put your money in it, you must be able to pay back the money. But when you borrow this money, and that's why I always say before you approach any bank for loan, you must be able to have a proper planning, a proper projected planning of what you want to do with this money. When you get this money and you don't have a good and a clear cut out plan of what you want to do with the money, you start spending it. Before you know it, you took 5 million from the bank. By the time you now know, okay, this is what I want to put this money into, the money is remaining only 2 million. Wow. Remember, you're paying back 5 million. You must run into trouble. So that's just it. But if you take 5 million from the bank, and by the time you're getting that money, you already have a clear-cut idea of what you're doing with the money, you'll be able to pay back. That's the truth. So diversion is one. Two, lack of planning. Diversion, you took 5 million from the bank, you used 2 million to buy a car. I'm now a big boy. I need small motor with small AC. I'll be cruising around with. You buy a car. That's outside the business plan. You will fail. It's either if you don't fail, you will struggle all through. That's just it. Thank you, William.
All right. So let me also ask this question. What happens to people out there that have done everything right? As in, from everything that you said, they have acquired knowledge, they have the passion, they have structure, and their business still fails.
Okay. And that's where the God factor comes in.
Oh.
You can't take out God in anything we do. You must pray. As a person, you must talk to whatever you believe in. Me as a Christian, I must pray to my God. So it's good for you to pray. When you finish your planning, you hand it over to God and you pray. Now, have you done all these things and it fails? Do it again. That's just it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
When you fail, you try again. When you fail, you try again. It gets to a point, failure runs away from you. That's the truth. Give that a try and you come back with a result.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Arinze. I've had a very insightful and interesting conversation with you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
you,
you so much.
William.
And to our viewers, I hope you've enjoyed our conversation about SMEs and startups and the challenges. And of course, Mr. Arinze has been able to provide some very interesting solutions to some of those questions that we've asked today. All right, till next time, we'll come your way again with Thav Exclusive. My name is William Sapule. See you next time.